Hello, my name is Brittany Townrow. I'm in the Department of Education in the NITAP program first year. Prior to coming to this program, I completed my Bachelor of Fine Arts at UBC. And today I'm going to be discussing what Indigenous knowledge means to me. Now, according to Joanne Archibald, the professor in Education Studies, she reflects on how Indigenous culture is a part of a system. And in this system, it helps people understand the various ways of knowing, and it has also shaped those that have helped the people are today. Now, she reflects on different ways of knowing and just different sources of Indigenous knowledge. In general, there could be a particular source of knowledge, such as the land, which reflects on the relationships of the people, and it connects with the history of the environment and the people that are here today. But she also reflects on another source of Indigenous knowledge, and it could come from elders. And elders are a way of passing down information that has been learned from other generations. I think the source of knowledge of passing down information and learning from your elders is so important, and it is something how I have learned my Indigenous knowledge. Growing up in North Delta, I didn't have this connection to, or so I thought, I had no connection to my Indigenous knowledge. And I realize now through the reflection of where I am today and how come I wasn't introduced much to Indigenous culture and knowledge is because I believe that it was my mom trying not to have me feel different than the other kids, because where I grew up there was no Indigenous First Nations people. I was the only one, and I didn't really have this connection to it because I didn't see any representation where I was growing up. So it's challenging to get a grasp of your identity if you don't see it. So you portray yourself as what you are surrounded by, and I was surrounded by people who weren't that culture, so my culture was formed from this. But I realized that it was because from my mother not wanting me to feel different, because she always felt so different living in Bella Bella and not being full First Nations, because her mother was white and her father was health sick, and she always felt growing up that she didn't fit in Bella Bella. And when they moved to Steveston when she was younger, she felt different because she was half and people there were not. And I believe that when she raised me, she never wanted me to feel different. And in turn, it ended up losing something that made her such a strong woman. And I feel that maybe if I had more connections with my elders, that I would have been able to understand and appreciate. But here I am now, almost 30, and reaching out and trying to form this connection with this past that I had not had the opportunity to connect. And I feel that it is because now, being in this program, and also because of my daughter, I want her to grow up proud, and the only way I can do that is through my own journey and passing that down onto her. And this relates back to another source of Indigenous knowledge that Joanne Archibald reflected on, was stories, and how stories shape the source of Indigenous knowledge. And it is so important that stories are listened to, and when we are hearing a story, it is important that we are in the moment and we allow the story to wash over us and not feel the need to add something to, but instead just appreciate the knowledge that is being passed down to us. And I think it's very important as we reflect on different ways of knowing in Indigenous knowledge and we discussed that you can learn from your elders, but also experiences are a very important way of knowledge, and that experiences are unique to yourself, but they help shape you as you are, and experiences, whether they be good or bad, create a new journey, a new path to your knowledge. And I feel it's important that we learn from each experience. And a reflection of one of my experiences would be my connection to the land and how I became grounded from feeling that connection to the land. And it wasn't until my mother passed away that I didn't really understand having a connection to the land. And I went through this really difficult moment, and it still carries on. It's not as if you ever get over something, but you learn to live with it and you grow from that experience. And the one thing that really helped me heal was having that connection to the land. And I remember after she passed away, actually before she passed away, she was spending at least 1 to 2 hours each day bike riding in the Burns Bog, and she would bike all the way to the ocean and all the way back. And this connection to the land really helped her grow and feel like she had control over the situation, because each day she knew, rain or shine, she was going to be bike riding there and back. And even though the cancer was taking over, she had control over where she was going, and she was able to do something she enjoyed, like bike riding. And when she passed away, I can recall that the moment I felt peace was when I was walking on hikes towards the ocean. I just felt like she was there. Shortly after she passed away, we decided to move to Steveston, and even though she wasn't there, I feel like I was walking in the same place that she was, and it really brought a sense of comfort to me. And I now understand this connection to the land through my experiences. And what does Indigenous knowledge mean to me would be spending time with loved ones, whether that be elders or friends. I think it's very important that you connect yourself with people that have the same values and the same understanding, and growing with those people is so important. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for listening. And I feel that my journey with Indigenous knowledge is a constant journey, and it is continually growing and evolving and forming as I gain more experience with my culture and my identity. And I look forward to doing this journey with everyone. Thank you.